Hello, this is Joe from Nerd in Korea. My son wants me to play Dota with him, and I'm actually finishing recording right now. This is my last part. He's getting kind of tired of me saying just one more minute, so here he is, but he got a haircut just like mine. Anyway, we're doing Marina Vendrell. This is a Wooburg commander, and she's all about rooms. It's a really interesting one. We managed to keep it under $25, so I hope you like it. Anyway, please hit like and subscribe. Okay. Alright, so first of all, we're going to talk about the commander and what the commander does and how she fits into this deck, or how this deck is built around her, I guess. Marina Vendrell, she is a Wooburg commander, so again, you need white, blue, black, red, green, one of each to cast her. And she's a 3/5 human warlock. When she enters the battlefield, you reveal the top 7 cards of your library, take all the enchantments and put them straight into your hand. This deck has a huge number of enchantment creatures, things like that. So you're just going to be able to load up on things very quickly just by doing this and flickering her. And somewhat more importantly is she can tap to lock or unlock a door of target room you control, activate only as a sorcery. So only on your turn. You can do it more than once per turn, but only on your turn. That is a pretty major limitation, actually. But anyway, so again, she's all about Duskmourn rooms. Rooms are split card enchantments. So usually with split cards, if it's like an instant or a sorcery, you choose one side and ignore the other side. With these, you're going to cast them as one side, and then you can pay to basically unlock or get the bonus from the second half. A lot of times, whatever bonus it has isn't a static bonus. There are some with static bonuses, but most of them are going to have activated effects. So when they unlock, they do like 6 damage or something, right? And then, yeah. So her locking and unlocking them all that a bunch of times is going to also let us just keep activating these abilities over and over. So that can be very, very good once we start getting a nice stack of these enchantments going. Again, so the limitation of sorcery speed is really important to keep in mind, because we do have effects that allow us to flicker, but if it's flicker and she comes back at the end of turn, you're going to get your tutor entering the battlefield effect, but you can't then tap her. So yeah, there's a pretty major limitation there that you kind of have to keep in mind, even with cards in the deck that I kept in. When you say, well, I wish I could tap her again, but you know what? It's still worth it for the getting piles and piles of enchantments. Also for defense, right? If you flicker her, if someone tries to use removal, flicker, removal basically fails. The whole thing fizzles, it just disappears. Anyway, so the advantage of locking and unlocking doors is that the triggers can be set off over and over again. So basically, we also have other creatures and things that can unlock doors or lock doors. So this is something that we're going to be able to do a lot in the deck. Getting these enchantments is just going to mean that we get to keep, even just win the game with them. We also have several other effects that allow you to lock and unlock doors, as I said. So yeah, there are other creatures and other things that can do this as well. So her semi-tutor effect is very good. Again, from 7 cards, all the enchantments. Again, we have, as I said, enchantment creatures and just regular enchantments, not just rooms either. And you're going to be able to keep just throwing them into your hand. The other thing about rooms is you can always cast it for the cheaper half, put it down, and then, yeah, you can later just use her to unlock the expensive half. So that's actually quite good. And yeah, the deck overall is, as of last night, $24.75. This one keeps going up so fast. I've been able to just do the Mox Field. You can update the deck to cheapest thing, and it actually puts it back under $25. But every time I've looked at it, it's been back over 25. So it's over 25. Maybe make a copy of it and update to cheapest, and hopefully that will get you to your $25 goal. The main purpose of the deck is to take maximum advantage of the rooms, which is what she's really made for. Again, this deck list is there's a link in the description for the Mox Field. Alright, so part 2. The key cards, looking at high synergy cards. So first of all, we've got Ghostly Keybearer for 3 and a white. This is a spirit, a 3/3 flyer, so not bad. Every time it does combat damage, you get to unlock a door. Or unlock a room, not a door. Assuming they have doors on the rooms, but whatever. Yeah, Marina can lock the door and then he can unlock it, and then yeah, just keep going back and forth like that. So very easy to team up. The fact that it's a flyer is very important because this is triggered by combat damage. Next up is Entity Tracker. For a 2 and a blue, this is a Human Scout 2/3. 2 and a blue for 2/3 is not great, not bad, but it has Flash, first of all. Secondly, it has Eerie. Eerie triggers whenever a room is unlocked or you cast an enchantment spell. So yeah, you can get a lot of extra value just from this effect in this deck, because Marina is just going to keep unlocking doors, which will keep setting off these Eerie effects over and over and over. But anyway, whenever enchantment you control enters and whenever you fully unlock a room, draw a card. So yeah, tap your commander, draw a card, get whatever other bonuses as well. Very, very nice. Little card draw is never a bad thing, you know? And Doomwake Giant for 4 and a black. This 4/6 is giant as it's, as advertised. This is one of our enchantment creatures. It has Constellation. So this triggers every time an enchantment enters the battlefield. Not when rooms are unlocked, unfortunately, but it's still quite good in this deck. So whenever Doomwake Giant or another enchantment you control enters, only enters, does not have to be cast. So we've got token enchantments as well, where we can make token enchantments that are copies, or we can also like have token creatures that are enchantment creatures. Every time these enter, creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Especially we can attack 3 different opponents, make 3 enchantment creatures, and that'll immediately trigger this, and everything your opponents control get at least -3/-3 for the turn just from that. And if you cast any other enchantments, just keeps on stacking up there. It's basically like a one-sided board wipe, most likely. And we've got Abuelo Ancestral Echo for 1 white-blue. Flying War 2/2/2. Another spirit here. And for 1 white and blue, you can exile another target creature or artifact you control. Return to the battlefield under someone's control at the beginning of the next end step. So this is partly why I want to point this guy out, is that he is very, very useful, but if it's the beginning of the end step, sorcery speed is out. Basically, you cannot tap her at that point. It's already past tap time, right? So there's a downside, but you could protect her, number 1, and also you're going to get your reveal 7 cards, take all the enchantments thing. So if you can do that once per turn, it's very, very worthwhile. And also you've got protection for Marina, which is very always good to have protection for your commander, right? Oh, these are all like cautionary ones, I guess. Zur the Enchanter for 1 white, blue, black Esper. 1/4 flyer, and whenever he attacks, you may search your library for enchantment card with mana value 3 or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Big warning here. The 3 or less, with rooms, they have 2 different costs. The 3 or less would be the combined cost. All the rooms in this deck, he cannot search for because they are above 3 CMC. Which is a downside, but we also have all kinds of auras and things like that are going to help us, especially if you're going for a commander damage win con. He can set that up very quickly and easily, so we still want him in the deck, but remember, he basically doesn't do rooms, so that's yeah, he can still tutor at least 4 different auras, I think out, and probably more. Oh wait, no, I can think of 5. Yeah, anyway. So very, very useful still. We've got Wildseer Scouring Maw as our last kind of cautionary one. This is very good, but also we got to talk about Cascade and rooms. So yeah, This is a 3 red green trample 6/6. 5 mana for a 6/6 with trample. Not a bad start. Enchantment spells you cast from your hand have Cascade. Very good. Remember, Cascade, just exile things from the top of your deck until you find a spell with a lower casting cost, and then you get to cast it for free. So basically a free spell when you cast a spell. The thing about rooms is it only cascades the half that you cast. You don't get to cascade for the full cost, which is a downside definitely, but it'd be kind of broken otherwise. So yeah. Easy to take advantage of as well though, because you could just cast the more expensive side and you're going to be able to cascade from that, right? So still something you can make some use out of. But yeah, keep in mind, Cascade is not the full value. It's just whatever half you cast. Alright. Part 3, the deck objectives. So what do we want to do when we're playing this deck? Number 1. Always, especially with the Wooburg, we're going to do ramping and fixing, number 1. Number 2, rooms, of course. Number 3, we're going to talk about locking and unlocking. You might think that's the same as rooms, but it's actually just a whole different thing. Rooms are like what gets activated. The locking and unlocking is how to activate them. Finally, number 4, winning. Because you want to win, mostly, right? So ramping and fixing, we have a Dauntless Scrap Bot, which I absolutely adore, but I've heard mixed reviews from other people. For 3, this is a 3/1 artifact creature robot, and when this creature enters the battlefield, exile each opponent's graveyard. Great start, right? Graveyard hate, and create a lander token. So when it enters, meaning if you flicker this, you're going to keep making lander tokens and exiling the graveyards. Lander tokens, remember, pay 2 mana, sack it, go get a basic land of any kind, throw it into the battlefield tapped. Trail Tracker Scout for 1 and a green. This is a Raccoon Scout, a 3/1. Tap to add 1 mana. A lot of people don't like this because it's a 2 mana dork. Here's why I think it's great. Whenever you expend 8, that means spend 8 on spells. Return up to 1 permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. So you're going to be... Basically, you have recursion built into using mana, which is what we're going to be doing a lot in this deck anyway, so why not? And World Map for 1 colorless. This is an artifact where it's basically like a Wayfarer's Bauble. It's actually cheaper if you want to just get a basic. So pay 1, tap and sack it, search the library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand. So it goes to hand, not to the battlefield, but also you can pay 3, tap and sack this, search the library for any land card, reveal it, put it into your hand. Any land card. Okay, so if you've got, you want to get one of your 2 color, 3 color, whatever we got, whatever you need, you're going to be able to go get it. We're also going to talk about some cost reduction. So we got a Minotaur, Veil Piercer. I feel like I'm probably saying her name wrong, but 1 white, blue, black Esper for a 2/4 human wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 2. So you get to look at the top 2 cards and you can put them into the graveyard or back on top. Some sorting is always very nice. Each enchantment card in your hand has Miracle. Its Miracle cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 4. So we've got all of these enchantments, especially the rooms. Remember, they've got like usually a cheap side and an expensive side. If you draw a room first on your turn, you can just knock 4 off the cost of the expensive side, making it the cheap side. Keep in mind, with Cascade in play as well, if you do that, it will cascade for the CMC of the side you cast, no minus to the cost. Finally, Farseek for 1 and a green. Search your library for a plains, island, swamp, or a mountain. Put into your battlefield tapped. I almost said hand. Put into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So that's always very nice. We've got a whole bunch of like dual lands, right? That do have the types listed, so you can go get them, put them straight into the battlefield, and a lot of mana fixing done that way. We're going to talk about rooms now. The main room, probably most important in this whole deck, is Central Elevator, Promising Stairs. So for 3 in a blue for Central Elevator or Promising Stairs for 2 in a blue, Central Elevator. When you unlock this room, search your library for a room card that doesn't have the same name as the room you control, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. So this is just a tutor for rooms that you can use over and over and over. Marina's going to keep locking and unlocking this, so you're just going to be able to keep piling up room. Well, you want to do this for 2 reasons, because the other side of this, Promising Stairs. At the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. You win the game if there are 8 or more different names among unlocked doors of rooms you control. So if you've got, you can have 4 of the room cards, and if they're fully unlocked, at the beginning of your turn, you just win the game. Which is very, very doable, especially if you're going in like, tutoring out a room every turn. You can just keep piling these on very quickly. 4 is not a lot. Next up, we have Greenhouse for 2 in a green and Rickety Gazebo for 3 in a green. Greenhouse has lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. So mana fixing for the whole game, done. Right there, just done. And Rickety Gazebo, when you unlock this door, mill 4 cards, then return 2 permanent cards from among them to your hand. Yeah, basically another kind of pseudo card draw. It's going to get some things to your graveyard, which might actually be useful as well, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Charred Foyer? I don't know how people say it, but anyway. I'm saying it Canadian way, foyer. Anyway. For 3 in a red, warp space for 4, red. So, 3 in a red, Charred Foyer. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You would play it this turn. An extra card. Why not? Only for 1 turn though? Sounds like a downside, but let's see, warp space. Once each turn you may pay 0 rather than the mana cost for a spell you cast from exile. So you're going to exile the card and then cast it for free every single turn. Yep, thank you. And Cramped Fence for 3 in a black. Not Cramped Fence anyway, it should be a bathroom thing. But anyway, Access Maze for 5 black. Don't cast that side. Anyway, Cramped Fence. So when you unlock this door, the room deals 6 damage to target creature and opponent controls. You gain life equal to the excess damage dealt this way. So it's removal and some life gain for you. 6 is probably going to take out just about everything on the board, right? Even dragons usually have 5 or 6 tops. Like, there's not going to be a whole lot of opponent or creatures that you're not going to be able to just be like, blow them up with this. Unlock it, blow them up, gain some life. Hey. And Access Maze. So once during each of your turns, you may cast a spell from your hand by paying life rather than paying the mana value equal to its casting cost. So once per turn, we do want to keep being able to throw things into the battlefield so you can just like take some damage to cast a spell rather than actually using mana. Pretty huge advantage, especially if you're like just gaining life as well. We got Lock and Unlock. We have Ghostly Key Bearer, which I already talked about. But yeah, combat damage, unlock a room. Nice little trick. Also, we have Keys to the House for 1 mana. This is an artifact. You can pay 1, sacrifice it, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Just another way to, get your mana fixing done. Or pay 3, sacrifice it, lock or unlock a door of target room you control, activate only as a sorcery. Another way to just get an extra door unlocked or locked. Probably unlocked and probably to get your win con in, right? And lastly, I'm adding another syllable for some reason. Ghostly Dancers, 3 white for this 2/5 spirit flyer, I should add. So when it enters the battlefield, return an enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Or unlock a locked door of a room you control. So recursion or unlock. Both very welcome things in this deck. But even more, so we got Eerie. which again, enchantment enters or unlock a room. This happens whenever enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, create a 3/1 white spirit creature token with flying. A 3/1 flyer just for like using your commander's ability every time, over and over. Part 4, we're going to talk about winning. How to win is something you want to know in a deck, right? First of all, as usual, going to talk commander damage first. There's a few different ways to get her damage up to begin with. We do one. She's a 3/5, I believe. So we're going to get to 21, especially if you're playing a one-shot. Not as difficult as it might sound, but yeah, we're going to have to put a little elbow grease in. We've got Strength of the Harvest for 2 in a green or white. So once again, Zura can find this. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each creature and or enchantment you control. Probably going to be quite a few. Let's have All That Glitters for 1 and a white. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact or enchantment you control. Once again, enchantments are not going to be rare here. And Ethereal Armor for only 1 white. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control and has first strike. So nice little bonus there. To really make this work though, we've got Tunnel of Hate is a room, or half of a room. Anyway, 4 red, and whenever you attack, target attacking creature gains double strike until end of turn. So you can just give one creature double strike, like, I don't know, your commander. Also, we have Legion Leadership, which is one of the two-faced land cards for 1 and a red or white. Until end of turn, double target creature's power and it gains first strike. Remember, you can give a double strike and double its power. These things are not exclusive, so yeah. You give her this bonus even if you get her to 6, so you have like a total of 3 enchantments on the battlefield, and one of those first 3 she'll be 6, and then you double her to 12 with Legion Leadership, and then give her double strike, and then there you go, you're done, right? Key to Victory is the second one I'm calling here. Basically, the Promising Stairs is what I'm really focused on there. So yeah, you surveil 1 at the beginning of your turn, and if there are 8 or more different names among unlocked rooms you control, you win. We also have Redress Fate for 6 white as Miracle 3. So the first card you draw on your turn, you get to cast it for only 4 mana. And return all artifacts and or enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. So all of your enchantments and artifacts that are in your graveyard just straight back into the battlefield. And yeah, if you have 8 room cards in your graveyard and you throw them all back in with Central Elevator there, unlock. I think you still have to unlock them if they come in that way. Unlock them and basically you're done. Next one I'm calling Enchanting Mob. So this is all about Soaring Lightbringer. 4 and a white for this enchantment creature, a Glimmer Bird. Other enchantment creatures you control have flying, sure. Whenever you attack a player, create a 1/1 white Glimmer enchantment creature token that's tapped and attacking that player as well. So it's going to make more enchantments. What's really important in this deck is that those are not just tokens, they're flying tokens. That's nice, but we care that they are enchantments. So like we said before with Doomwake Giant, that's going to give all of the opponent's stuff -3 until end of turn if you attack all 3 opponents. And you can also use Extinguish All Hope. So for a black for the sorcery, destroy all non-enchantment creatures. So you are going to blow up a lot of your own stuff. Even your commander can get blown up if you don't have like Abuela or something to flicker her. But yeah, so there's some risk involved, but you can use this as a finisher for sure. Part 5, what's important, right? This is all about being prepared, knowing how the deck works, especially the sub-themes. So we got enchantments, pretty major theme in this deck. So I don't even know if I call it a sub-theme. But anyway, Doomwake Giant. Every time you cast a spell or an enchantment enters, not whenever you cast a spell. I'm saying it totally wrong. -1/-1 to all your opponent's creatures, all of them. Oh. Destiny Spinner for 1 and a green. This is a 2/3. Creatures and enchantment spells you control can't be countered. So this protects all of your enchantments and creatures from being countered, which is pretty good. Yeah. Wild Seer Scouring Maw. Again, all of your enchantments have Cascade now. Very, very useful little trick. We also have Mesa Enchantress for 1 white. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. We actually have another thing. It's a satyr that does the same thing. Selesnya Satyr. I can't remember the name right now, but yeah. Does the same thing. Just keep that card train going. Yeah. Yenna, Redtooth Regent for 2 green-white. This is a 1/4. You can pay 2, tap her, choose target enchantment you control that doesn't have the same name as another permanent you control. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it isn't legendary. If the token is an aura, untap Yenna, Redtooth Regent, then scry 2, activate only as a sorcery. So you can only make 1 copy of things with her, but if you copy an aura, you also get to scry 2, and you get to make all of these rooms. Copies of these rooms can go a long way to your win con, right? An important thing to point out is if you make a copy of a room enchantment card, they both come in locked. So you have to unlock both doors. It doesn't allow you to just automatically say, oh, this door is unlocked or anything like that. So, Next up is Eerie. Very similar to Constellation, but it also cares about rooms being unlocked. So that is a very big difference here. And Flicker, very important in the once again as well, for untapping Marina, also for protecting your commander and for getting that entering effect, where you get to, basically look through the top 7 cards, take all the enchantments, throw them straight into your hand. Abuelo, first up, 1 white-blue, we already talked about this 2/2 flying word 2. Exiles until end of turn, so there's a bit of a downside there. Flicker Wisp, 1 white for this 1/3 flyer. So when it comes into play, remove another target permanent card from the game. Return that card to under its owner's control at the end of turn. So once again, this will flicker, but it's going to come back at the end of turn. So kind of the same issue with Abuelo, but it's 3 mana and it's a flyer, so not bad. But you remember, it just says target permanent, so you could target something besides your commander as well. Essence Flux for only 1 blue. This instance has exile target creature you control return to the battlefield under its owner's control. So this does come straight back, no until end of turn stuff, and you get to put a +1/+1 counter on it. Again, if you're using this on your commander, having an extra +1/+1 on your commander is always welcome. Next up, Flicker of Fate for 1 and a white. Exile target creature or enchantment and return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Creature or enchantment. Really good in this deck to protect those enchantments if you don't want them getting removed. Tutor effects. So we actually have a whole bunch of tutor effects in this deck. Moonblast Cleric for 2 and a white. This 3/2 has Divine Intervention. So when it enters the battlefield, you must search your library for any enchantment card, put it on top of your library, so it doesn't get to hand, but to the top of your library, especially if you use it to go get, like, you know, your central elevator or something like that, you're basically setting yourself up to win the game. Plea for Guidance for 5 and a white. This is a sorcery. I know what you're thinking, 6 mana for a tutor is expensive, but search a library for up to 2 enchantment cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, and then shuffle your library. So this is a double tutor. You can really set up pretty much whatever you need with this. So yeah, that's going to just be, especially if you're getting to the point where you can unlock and lock doors pretty easily. It's like, what effect do you want to have? Or do you just want to close the game out? You can go get anything you need. Central Elevator, we already talked about. Basically, just keep unlocking this, and then go get a whatever room card you want to your hand right away. Illicit Shipment, also for 3 black. This has Casualty 3. This is one of my personal favorites. Search a library for a card, put it into the battlefield, put it into your hand, not to the battlefield, then shuffle. Sounds not that amazing. Casualty 3, sacrifice a creature with 3 power, like one of your 3/1 tokens, maybe, for instance, and go copy this, basically. So you're gonna, again, get 2 of any card you want. It's not limited to like enchantment or creature or whatever. 2 of any card. Yeah, you can turn that into your win, right? And finally, Zerd the Enchanter, we talked about. Limited use, but that doesn't mean useless. So yeah. And we got tokens. Last thing we're going to talk about. So for 2 white, we've got the Archon of Sun's Grace, a 3/4 flying lifelink. More lifelink if we're looking for that. Pegasus creatures you control have lifelink. Sounds like a weird thing, right? But also Constellation. So whenever enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, like if you flicker one, create a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying. So you can just start making a bunch of these flyers. 2/2 flyers with lifelink. There's your life gain. If you're wanting to use, the casting by paying life instead thing, you're set. Gremlin Tamer. For a white and a blue, this 2/2 has Eerie again. So whenever enchantment enters or you fully unlock a room, meaning both sides are unlocked, you get to make a 1/1 red gremlin creature token. I can't say gremlin today for some reason. That's fun. And Soaring Lightbringer, we already talked about. But yeah, for 4 and a white, this gives other enchantment creatures flying. Nice. Also, yeah, whenever you attack a player, you're going to create it's a 1/1 white glimmer creature token that's tapped and attacking that player. So you can just keep making these every combat. Just even said, like, your 2/2 Pegasus, 1 at each opponent, and then you're going to make Glimmers tokens, and then you can attack with the Glimmer tokens, and they'll make more Glimmer tokens. And every time they enter, they'll trigger all kinds of things with like Constellation and Eerie. But anyway, this has been Marina Vendrell. I hope you like it, and if you try it, please let me know. I always love to hear feedback on these. Anyway, take it easy.